What's up guys, Sam Adams here and welcome to The Drop, which is a weekly series every single Monday right here on the YouTube channel where I go through the top video game releases of the week and let you guys know what new games are coming out just in case you want to pick up something new. And this week we have one of the biggest releases of the fall gaming season, which of course is Halo 5, which we'll talk about more in a minute. I'm extremely excited for this one, and I actually have to go a little bit out of my way to pick this one up on Tuesday, but there are a couple of other games coming out that are worth mentioning, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first off, yes, that's right, we've got WWE 2K16 coming on the old generation and new generation consoles, which is supposed to be the most realistic wrestling experience to date. There are new attacks upon entry where you can directly attack your opponent upon entering the actual match, as opposed to having to sit through a cutscene. There are new animations, new breakouts and pins, a lot more in-depth of an experience than past iterations of the game, and there have been 17 WWE games, which is an impressive list, and there obviously is something to these games, especially if they keep making them year after year, that makes them worth making. There are going to be 120 playable wrestlers from launch. That is not including future DLC. Literally, when you put the disc in, you have 120 playable wrestlers, which is a lot of characters, and something that we don't generally see that much. I believe there were 67 in last year's game, and so there are 120 this year. That's a ton of wrestlers, and that's pretty awesome to see that they're not just giving you a sparse little few and then charging extra for the ones that you really care about. There's also an interesting pre-order DLC, which I don't, I never say pre-order a game because pre-orders just reinforce the idea that the industry can make half-done games and sell them as full-price titles, which is something I don't really support. However, this DLC is pretty cool, and I'm not saying you should pre-order this, but if you do pre-order, there is an Arnold Schwarzenegger DLC, which actually comes with two different playable characters. One is Arnold himself, and the other as the Terminator from the original Terminator movies, with the leather jacket and the eye that's been kind of blown off and as the robot underneath the face. It looks really cool and something that I'm glad they actually threw into WWE 2K16 because that shows that it's not necessarily all about the serious wrestling experience. There's still that awesome just, hey, let's play as the Terminator kind of aspect going into it. So in general, if you're wanting to try a new kind of sports game, or you're an old generation wrestling game fan, or you're a wrestling fan in general, you might want to pick up WWE 2K16, which is coming out this week on the Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. Next up, Darksiders 2 Deathinitive Edition is coming out on the PS4 and Xbox One. That's very hard to pronounce. They didn't think that one through. But this one follows the story of Death, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and it originally came out on 2012 on the old generation consoles, and it was pretty well received by the public, and in general, it earned its right as a, definitive edition game to be re-released. And obviously, this game is running at 1080p, 60 frames a second. It's looking really good, and all of that good stuff. And of course, the Definitive Edition actually comes with all of the DLC that was ever put out for the game, so you've got at least 30 plus hours of additional content in addition to the original story from the base game, so that's a ton of game time. And of course, Darksiders 2 is open world, so even after you finish the story, the main storyline, you can still go around completing side quests and exploring the world as Death. So it's a pretty awesome concept, and there is a lot of game here for you to play. So if you're a fan of the original Darksiders 2 back on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and you want to try out all of the DLC, or if you're just looking to try out the franchise and you want to get the full experience, you might want to pick this one up this week. And this one is actually only $29.99, which is a pretty fair price for a base game and every piece of DLC that was ever released for it. Honestly, that's a pretty good deal. Next up, Halo 5 Guardians is coming on the Xbox One exclusively, and this is probably going to be one of the biggest video game releases of the year. This one's up there with like Fallout 4 and Just Cause 3. This is one that a lot of people are excited about because it is one of those iconic gaming franchises that's pretty much been around since the beginning of Xbox as a Microsoft company. So an unknown force is threatening the galaxy, prompting Master Chief to go rogue, and then Spartan Locke is sent after Master Chief to track him down because the UNSC knows he's dangerous and he has to be dealt with, which sounds like a very interesting campaign and something that's definitely different from what Halo normally does, where you have to kind of, just take out the Covenant or take out the Librarian from using a Halo ring to destroy the world. It's definitely good to see them switching things up, and I think 343 Industries does really well with the Halo franchise, and I'm really excited to play a Halo 5, but the multiplayer is what I particularly am really excited about because I've always really enjoyed watching and playing the Halo kind of multiplayer where it's kind of bare bones, but at the same time there's a lot of depth to it with the around map pickups and stuff like that. But as expected, this is a 3-4-3 Halo multiplayer with a few additions, including a new mode called Warzone, which is where 24 players are playing against each other, and then AI drop in automatically to kind of switch things up and add a little bit more hecticness to the map, I suppose is the best way to put it. And all of this is happening while you're trying to complete objectives. So it's kind of like if you mixed capture the flag, domination, and team deathmatch, and kill confirmed and stuff like that. You just shoved everything into one game mode, and it's very fast paced, very hectic, but it's very fun in the long run. There's also an arena mode, which is the classic 4v4 Halo experience, along with other stuff that they're going to be adding and changing the playlist to periodically as the game launches and as more content is added. I can't really wait to see where they go with this multiplayer, and I'm looking forward to seeing the professional competitive players really go with this Halo 5 thing, because it is built for a competitive kind of environment. If the beta speaks for anything of the base game, of how it's going to be released, I think the beta was great. I think the Halo 5 Guardians is going to be very smooth, and I trust 343 to do the Halo franchise justice and make a very good game. I can't wait to see what the campaign goes. I'm really excited about the multiplayer, and honestly, this is probably going to be my favorite game of the year, unless they screw it up like last year's Master Chief Collection, which I don't think that they will. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video for today. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what games you are picking up this week. Are you a fan of Halo, or do you not even have an Xbox? Do you wish you could play Halo? Or are you really looking forward to WWE 2K16 or maybe even Darksiders 2? If I missed anything, let me know what else you're picking up in the comment section down below. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to head over and check out some of those other videos. We just hit 500 subscribers, so I upload a little montage of me over the years. If you want to check that out, I'll link that down below. But as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.